Hey guys, thought I'd put this video together to give my opinion of the Eaton TrueTrac differentials, and hopefully this helps others in making a decision in what limited slip differential to purchase. About 2 years ago, I decided to build my Ford Expedition into a camping off-road vehicle, and one thing I wanted to do was put bigger tires on it, so I wanted to re-gear to compensate for those big tires. And of course, while I was in there, wanted to put some limited slip differentials front and rear if possible. So you go online and you start looking for information, and you find a little bit on YouTube about how the Eaton TrueTracs work. I'm a little bit familiar with differentials. I did autocrossing years ago and used a torsion T2R in a Camaro that we used, so I understand how those differentials worked, but never used one off-road. So the first thing I did is look at prices, and the TrueTracs are definitely a less expensive option. You could buy 2 differentials for the price of one ARB locker or E-locker of the same. So I made a decision to go with the Eaton TrueTracs. So I installed 456 gears and TrueTracs front and rear in my Expedition, and this is what I found. In this first shot, you can see how the lockers work. I approached this obstacle with slight brake pressure, and you'll see it climbs the rock to a point, but then the differentials act like an open differential, and the front rear starts to spin, and so does the rear, left rear. And you can see then I push the brake harder, and all of a sudden the torque vectors to the tire with the most traction, and it pulls me off the rock. And now you can see the same obstacle where I put a lot more brake pressure in and throttle through the brakes as it climbs the obstacle, and you'll notice that there's no wheel slip at all. This is the proper way to use the TrueTrac. This shot shows all the techniques at once, and you'll notice how the left rear gets hung up on the rock, and it went to an open differential, and I rotated around the rock. And being that the TrueTrac will act like a full locker, if you get it up on a really hard obstacle, you will find some weak links.
Whoa, whoa!
In closing, I will say I'm very impressed with the TrueTracs and I'm very happy with their operation. They're pretty seamless on the street and very uncomplicated. No air compressors, no electrical connections, no switches. You just have to apply the brakes to make them lock, and for the most part they do exactly that. Remember, this is not a rock crawler, but you do need all 4 wheels pulling in some situations. So hopefully this is helpful to other people. Let me know in the comments, and like if you like.